Besides a few mishaps, the Ascent is an aesthetically pleasing masterpiece well worth your 15 hours. Hey guys, Kai here, and this is my review of the Ascent. The arcology of Veles puts Night City to shame, which is crazy since the Ascent was made by only 12 people from the new studio, Neon Giant. As soon as you ascend up that first elevator and see the arcology, your eyes will light up not knowing what to look at. From the countless citizens standing around in confusion and the neon lights applying their luminescence to everything around them, the camera moves to show the grand scale of the world around you. And as you progress, to some of the most gorgeous gaming scenes I've ever seen. Like seriously, the designers must have been laughing when they put this together. But graphics are only part of the equation. And I'm pretty sure you didn't click to listen to me talk about the visuals the entire time. The main selling point is the combat, of course. And I'm here to say, it's pretty good. I won't lie, I did have some issues with it though. Being a twin-stick shooter, the Ascent does a great job of the combat feeling relentless, and to an extent, skill-based. The use of the aim higher feature is actually great, and gives the players options to duck and cover, which was necessary in some of the fights within the story. The problems arise because the combat felt the same throughout most of the game. From level 1 to 30, it didn't really change, and I was quite bummed about that. One thing I have to talk about real quick that kind of broke the combat for me was killing innocents on the streets. I don't know about you guys, but that just didn't work for me. The endless slaughter of the people just walking around just felt wrong, and it ruined those fights. And on top of that, it's hard to tell who the enemies actually were. I found this choice in combat scenarios quite odd from the devs. Aside from that, there are augmentations to spice up combat. I found these to be great fun, and providing necessary damage to survive the hordes of enemies that can attack you. Propulsion Leap and the Rocket Barrage are my favorite, and I won't lie, the only two I used the entire game when I got them. There was something satisfying watching multiple enemies constantly explode, but the likes of the hyper focus to dodge bullets or the rat bite to convert enemies to fight for you are quite awesome, but I never felt the need to try them out. The combat is so repetitive that when you find a build that works, the game doesn't really force you to try new things, unless the player wants to, of course. I'm not sure if this is a good or a bad thing, but some variety in the fights wouldn't have hurt. The Ascent is an RPG, and I have to say, the RPG elements are pretty lackluster. There are many options to put your points into, such as evasion, weapon handling, and crit chance, but I never really noticed the change. I don't really think I evaded any faster, nor did I feel like I had that much more crit than usual. Don't get me wrong, I still used the points, but increasing HP in the energy pool for abilities helped way more than the passive abilities seemed to do. The good news is that your character always looks pretty cool. I love the custom armors, even if I hated how the stats worked. It did take me like 3 hours before I realized I could click the button to get the name of what each stat was. But that's on me, I know. But it should have been the default. I wish I could say I love the weapons and the loot in general. While each weapon is custom created, there aren't many types. I could be nitpicking here, but there didn't seem to be a ton of variety. On first looks, the game looks like it could be Diablo, but it most definitely is not that. Don't expect the Ascent to be that grindfest for better loot. It's just not that at all. But what the Ascent is a decently told story of an indent who randomly decides to help their boss, for some reason or another, and try and solve the mystery of a corporate shutdown. The campaign has some memorable characters as well, such as Poon and Noghead, whose voice acting is actually pretty good, and make for some good laughs throughout the campaign.
But who the flaming fuck were those amped up flatliners? Damn it! I need more problems about as much as I need a rectum on my forehead. And yes, I know there are a few evolutionary dead ends like that around, but you get my drift.
Not now. I've almost cracked the distributed cognition. Whoa! Where did you come from? And how did you find us? This is supposed to be us. I knew I should have gotten those turrets online long ago. Then, you'd be a red smear on the floor.
Is it the greatest dialogue and story ever? No, it's not. But it is entertaining, and there's at least some notion of mystery that will keep you interested into why you're murdering countless people and aliens. The Ascent is a great intro from Neon Giant, and while not perfect by any means, the map and the waypoint are absolutely terrible. The game has enough fun combat and killer scenery that will keep you interested throughout. The future for the studio is bright if this is what they can put out together on their first try. I would highly recommend the Ascent to anyone, especially if you have Game Pass. Give this Cyberpunk themed twin shooter a try, and you won't regret it. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button to help out the channel, and until next time, peace.